the right club. Be the right club today. Yes!
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about him?
That is better than most. Better than most!
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up live show, presented as always by our friends at High Noon BMW Championship recap. We already know who won. Solly here with the brothers Schuster/Carter, calling in live from Baltimore. Gents, how was the week out there?
Hot. Yeah. Oppressively hot.
Humid.
And that's coming from somebody that came from Jacksonville for this tournament.
I was yearning to go back to Jackson. Baltimore's great. I love it here. The food's awesome. The people are nice. But man, there's something different up here in the Mid-Atlantic and even just Midwest and Appalachia when you get in these river valleys and the humidity just sits on top of you. It was a big walk.
Yeah.
You could kind of tell guys were sucking wind a little bit out there on the back nine today.
Yeah, the Memphis to Baltimore double weather-wise was a tough one. But what a finish, man. We got one of those iconic Scotty moments. We're talking about in the Open live show. And I mean, what a win. Aquaman at it again. Just the tidal wave coming final round. 67.
Malicious.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. What'd you call it? Just a savage win from Scotty.
Malicious. He hunted Bob down in like the first 4 or 5 holes today. And I mean, Bob bottled it. He didn't play great, but yeah, Scotty just kind of bums me out that he didn't win Memphis and just that he's not going for the sweep in the playoffs, just to put an exclamation point on the season.
Yeah.
Well, look, I know you guys are exhausted. I wish you had were here with me. You could have a nice ice cold beverage because I've got a High Noon tequila, and High Noon knows tequila people only have eyes for tequila. That's why they crafted the perfect seltzer made with real tequila and real juice. The High Noon tequila seltzer delivers a smooth taste that's just 100 calories, made with no added sugar, just premium ingredients that taste as real as the vibe. The tequila seltzer comes in 6 delicious flavors: lime, strawberry, passion fruit, blood orange, and prickly pear. And tonight we are going grapefruit, if I can show you that right there.
Little Paloma action.
I love that.
HighNoonSpirits.com to find High Noon tequila seltzer near you. High Noon. Sun's up. Also want to give a shout out to our friends at The Stack. You can go to thestacksystem.com/NLU, code NOLAYINGUP. You get 10% off The Stack. It is a great training aid for your golf game. It could be for wedges. It can be for putting. You've heard me talk probably the most about the speed training, which is just fantastic. You go work out, warm up 10 to 15 minutes in your backyard. It walks you through step by step of what you're supposed to do. Then it gamifies increasing your swing speed. And the biggest benefit I've had from that is being able to play golf, swinging it, feeling like I'm swinging it at 85, 90%, and watching that ball roll out to where it used to prior to me doing the speed training. It is not that I need to go swing it at 125 miles an hour on the golf course. You just can cruise at a much better speed. Great benefits to your game. It's fun to do. I flip it on the back, flip on the app in the backyard and sweat it up for a good 30 minutes, gets the day started. So add it to the calendar. You're heavily incentivized to keep doing it. So
he's out in the backyard at 5 a.m. starting his day.
Yeah. Solly, you stacking and prep for the Creator Classic?
I missed it today, but I'll put it on the calendar for tomorrow morning. I will not miss it tomorrow morning. And there's even got like a pre-round priming session you can do. I'm definitely going to be doing that.
It's always priming
on Wednesday. I might pass out because we're going to Atlanta next for turn about.
You should ask Ben Griffin for some creatine.
Yeah, seriously. Can't wait to get to that.
My God. Thestacksystem.com /NoLaying or /NLU, code NOLAYINGUP, 10% off. All right. We're going to talk winners from around the world. We're going to talk, of course, BMW, a little bit of LIV stuff. We're going to talk some Ryder Cup stuff, the Danish Golf Championship. The U.S. AM was fantastic this week. LPGA Portland's wrapping up as we speak. Some other news and notes and some housekeeping from the week that was. The winners from around the world, of course, Scotty Scheffler wins the BMW. Sebastian Munoz won LIV Indianapolis as well as Torque. Marco Pinge.
Torque needed it.
Wins the Danish Open. Mason Howe is 4 up through 18 at the U.S. Amateur as we speak. That'll be a good nightcap for tonight. Leading.
It looks like Emilio Gonzalez is going to win out in Boise.
Okay. Thank you for that. And then who's winning on the LPGA Tour here currently, TC?
One of the EY.
That is Aki EY leading over her sister by 3 shots. And it looks like she is going to win that. She's up by 3 with 2 holes to play. So at the BMW, Robert MacIntyre took a 4-shot lead into the final round over Scotty Scheffler. That 4-shot lead was only good enough to be minus 175 this morning on FanDuel. He bogeyed the first hole. Scotty birdied the first hole. The odds flipped in favor of Scotty and never changed for the rest of the day. He also cut the lead down to 2 after that first hole. Scotty birdied the 5th hole and Bob bogeyed that one. That tied it. Scotty then birdied 7 to take the lead and never looked back. He birdied 11, then missed a couple shorties on 12 and 14, but bounced back with a birdie on 15. MacIntyre birdied 16 to cut the lead to 1 with 2 to play. Scotty pulls a 5-iron on the par 3 17th hole and hits the shot maybe of the year. We've been asking for a memorable shot from Scotty Scheffler. Soft hands, little pitch out of the rough, trickles it onto the green. It rolls forever and ever and ever and ever and goes in the damn hole. And that was the defining shot. He goes on to win by 2.
I thought Kisner actually had a really, really good tidbit on the broadcast down the stretch. He said, Scotty, I think he played the 17th hole, a couple under par for the week, didn't hit the
1 under, missed the green all 4 days. Yeah.
It's crazy. Because I was playing the hardest hole today. It was why, I mean, you were out there with Stephen Cox doing the setup this morning, and it was that back right hole location.
Now they did a good job mixing up pins on the back 9 with some birdie stuff, and then 17 was just like he was like, yeah, this is as hard as we've got. They did move the tees up on 17 to about 220 and playing down to like 207, just to give those guys a chance to hit like a 7 or 6 iron. But other than Ricky, I mean, not really anybody trying to get at that flag on 17.
That was a tough ask for Bob as a lefty. To,
should it help?
Well, yeah, but he's got to turn one over and to get it to stop on the back of that green. That green was pretty firm.
I just say I'm watching, that was a vintage, if there is such thing, vintage Scotty performance. The distance control all day, just the inevitability of his iron play. And then also some sprinkling in some vintage Scotty like shorties. Like 2 years ago, we forget how he struggled with these short putts. He shows a little bit of humanity on 14, lets Big Bob back in it. And then what have we always said, Solly, like, oh, best iron player in the world. And oh yeah, by the way, like he's also the best chipper in the world. And it's like, yeah, just when he needs it, what doesn't need it much, but when he does, like here is a kind of an iconic, memorable shot. Now,
and he did it all without his caddy.
And I want to say, I was thinking about it because we were saying, or I was saying on the Open pod, there's not a lot of shots I think of like, that I'm like we do with Tiger of like, oh my God, I'm going to remember that shot for a while. I'm going to remember that chip in on 17. But I think some of it has to do with the reaction. I thought the reaction was awesome, but he didn't smile. He didn't say anything. He just put the grip of his club in the air and just looked at his caddy with a really subtle fist pump, walked probably 50 feet to get the ball out of the hole, didn't crack a smile the whole way. I mean, it's just, I think that is so like just cool. You know what I mean? It's so cool, but it's not, it doesn't, maybe it doesn't imprint it on your memory. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I said it earlier. I thought it was a malicious performance down the stretch of I thought Bob hit a really, really good shot into 16. I like that they bumped the tee up on 16 today. That's it was probably too long in the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Just to get to the fairway. Like there were certain guys in the field that were struggling to get to the fairway, the back tee. And so, Bob damn near makes an albatross on 16, ends up getting up and down for birdie. And Scotty misses his birdie putt. And then, like 17 was like, all right, this is going to be it. And then he gets back up and he laces one on 18 to just put the final nail in. And I mean, Bob didn't play well. He couldn't hit a fairway the first, 15 holes. And not his best performance today, but it truly felt like a war of attrition out there to a certain extent too, of guys. I mean, I was like, we were out there at 9 a.m. the last 2 days, like right as play was starting. Andrew Novak sprinted around in like,
that was fantastic.
Maybe two hours this morning by himself. And by like 11:30 or noon, I was like, get me into some air conditioning. It is wildly hot out here. And I felt like it's a big walk out there. Grass was firming back up after a couple of days of sunshine. Got lucky with the weather this weekend outside of that Thursday storm. And so you could tell like Bob just seemed like he was out of gas. He played flawless golf for 2 or 3 days and he just didn't have it today.
Shot 62, 64 to open, 5-shot lead, but you got to play 36 holes in the weekend and that shit with Scotty Scheffler. Like it just, at no point did I think he was going to win this golf tournament. I've since recanted prior Bob takes. I have the utmost respect for him as a player, and I most definitely have underrated him as a player, but like
a dog for sure.
Yeah, he just didn't have that smoke to handle Scotty. I mean, Scotty played the 3rd best round of the day. Only Mav McNealy and Xander Schauffele shot lower scores today, playing in the final group, final round 67, while missing a couple shorties. Like he kind of spotted him a little bit. And we got to figure out, I think we got to have like a template or a checklist or something that we go through on Sunday nights of Scotty wins. Now, I don't know how to do it any differently, how to describe him any differently. It's closer and closer to Tiger. It's still only the best since Tiger and not going to be Tiger, but it gets closer and closer, man. This is his 14th win in his last 33 starts. All but 2 of those are like elevated in some way. There's an Olympic gold medal. There's 3 major championships, 6. There's 2 playoff events in there, 6 signature events in there as well, including a players in there. That's like winning 43% of the time in 33 starts since switching to the mallet. Like it's completely absurd. Like Tiger's career winning percentage is like 25%. And he had some runs over the course of his career where he won over 50% of starts and, kind of spans like that. But it's getting shockingly close. Like it's inching closer to him more so than it is like, he's kind of settling down into whoever the 2nd, 3rd best player would be kind of in the last 25, 30 years. Phil, Rory, I don't know how you would define that. I mean, there's different ways to define that, but he is lifting and separating from everybody on a weekly basis, and he's going to win next week too.
And you said he just tied L's for wins,
most career PGA Tour wins. Ernie's got a lot of wins from around the world on top of that, but most career wins. Yeah.
I thought Scotty, like we talk a lot about strokes gained. Sometimes I think it's refreshing to just go back to old school stats of like how many fairways did he hit, how many greens did he hit, because I think it's like sometimes just the strokes gain stuff feels a little bit intangible.
Sure.
He was number 2 in driving distance, 326. He was T3 in driving accuracy, 73% of his fairways, 41 of 56. And greens in regulation, he hit 78% of his greens in regulation, 56 of 72. If you're just not going to beat him.
Yeah. And that without hitting the green on 17. So there's 4 of them right there. Just like, that's not a shot for me. But
and then on what 13, the other long par 3, he like a couple days he like wasn't even trying to hit the green.
Yeah,
he was just trying to hit a 3-iron. Like that hole was very like just.
They moved that tee up today too.
Brutish the first few days. So,
So again, I know this is nerd stuff that people don't like, but this is going to put it on the Data Golf career points list, which is...
That's not true, Solly. I like it.
Well, thank you, Neil. Which is something that people should celebrate in terms of like, if you don't like the strokes gain stuff, the career points list is great. It's like just taking your finishes and assigning a point value to them. He's going to be about 25th on this list when it refreshes tomorrow. That's in 175 starts. Every single person above him, aside from Dustin Johnson and Greg Norman, has over 400 starts. In under 200 starts, he's going to crack the top 25 career. That's since 1983. It's only counting since they actually started counting stats. He's 25th all time, and everybody above him has more than double the starts. Like he's just going to be inhaling golfers on this list over the next, he's going to be in the top 10 in 2 years. He's going to be one of the 10 best players in the last 40 years within 2 years.
And he's playing against a deeper game, a deeper bench of players. Guys, everything's optimized, and he's just still blowing past that. Crazy,
man. And of course, he's probably going to go like 1-3-1 in the Ryder Cup on the heels of two of the most historic seasons.
Come on, man! Just celebrate a fantastic performance today. How many Ryder Cup points did you say he had?
37,000. I don't even like. You don't even need to know the scale of those points to know how absurd that is.
Who's the next closest?
Like somebody's got like 14,000. I think was the next closest on the list.
Jace Pond, 14,000.
He has more points than 4, 5, and 6 on the list combined, and I think 3, 4, and 5 on the list combined.
That's fantastic.
It's completely absurd. McIntyre finished second, of course. Mav McNealy, the final round 66, puts him in a solo third. Tommy
Gotta put him on
Fleetwood.
the team. You got to put Mav on the team.
Is this bit or for real? Which one?
No, for real. I said it on he was on my team on our pod earlier this week. I've been kind of consistent about the Mav drumbeat. I think he's.
So who's off on your in this scenario?
We want to do Ryder Cup stuff now.
Well, you said put him on the team, you're gonna have to follow up on that. Don't put that on me.
I would probably leave Colin off the team right now. The way he's putting, like he can't sniff the hole.
Yeah, Keegan's never gonna do that though. But Mav was impressive today. Solly down the stretch, hitting the ball great. The shot he hit into 16 today was great stuff. Speaking of that. Bob almost jarred it on the fly. He didn't have to do that. That ball slings in from right to left. Like the play was to land it on the front of the green and let it just bank over to the back left pin. So that was, it was a little look at me from Big Bob.
So you also had a nice point of like
he did get it up and down.
Yeah, he had a couple good chips on those last two, opening up like pretty delicate spots. So you got a good point of like, we're gonna spend $20 million redoing this place, and then guys are just still gonna like. Driving over this or driving over that.
I didn't realize they moved the tee up there on 16, which that does change my thought on that. But
which I thought was a good decision because it did lead to some fireworks on 16, which earlier in the week it's been a little bland because it's already uphill and you can't really kind of a blind
awkward
second shot. Yeah. So I thought that was a great decision. I thought the setup was really good. I can go there next. So I went out with Stephen Cox and just kind of drove around the back nine as he did his final checks. 10 through 18 and just him like 16 is a good example of like, hey, we're gonna move the pin up, we're gonna put this pin back left, so that enables these guys to, if they really want to go for this green, the proper play. He's the one telling me that the proper play is to land it right on the front and it's gonna bank left, and then moving the tees up on 17, but making it a really hard pin, just trying not to. And there's a lot of stakeholders like the club might be a little concerned. We want the score. You want the course to play really hard, and it's like, well, do you want it to play hard? Or do you want to have a good finish? Do you want guys to be able to chase here? So
it's a pretty strong-minded club.
Yeah. So they had like 10 is, birdie hole on 10, 11. I thought the pin was awesome on 11. I loved 11. I enjoyed watching golf there all day. Short par 4. They moved the tee up to the front of the box. It was about 294, 295. Pin was front left. Steven's like, we're just goading guys into like the play is definitely
same thing on 5, but on Saturday,
just making them think about it. Cause if you put in that back left bunker, it's not a horrible spot. And then can you control your spin with the wedge?
Looks like 6 guys went for it on 11 today with the remaining 43.
Which especially if you're trying to like get out there, make an eagle or make a couple birdies and vault up. Like if you're on the bubble and you're 36th and you got to make something happen.
Yeah.
Why not? Right.
Or if you're Rory and you're bored, you're just like, fuck it. I'll ship it. Almost
for sure. For sure.
God, he had to be so glazed over yesterday and today.
Yeah. So yeah, just kind of getting some context on how they try to mix and match. Like it can't just be all hard pins. If you want to get a kind of a can't lay Bryson finish like you had 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You gotta mix it up a little bit. So I thought that the golf course overall, it's solid. It's such a solid PGA Tour setup, and I think to BMW is my favorite golf course in the world. No, but I thought it tested these guys well. There's a ton of volatility on the scoreboard. You had Novak racing around. So actually, funny story. We're on 17, like putting to that pin in the back right. And the marshal's like, hey, you guys got to clear out. Like Novak's he's on the tee. It's like 11:02. He teed off at 9:06 and he's standing on 17 tee. It's like, oh my God. Like this guy,
he plays fast. You got to put him on the team.
And so Casey was out, saw him hit on 8 and he hit his tee shot on 8. His caddy was basically 4 caddying. So They left the green on 7. His caddy just went up the fairway. He blew his drive way right on 8, which is there's some OB over there. And so he turns. There's like nobody there but Casey and I think her husband John. And he turns thinking the caddy's there, like, give me a ball. And it's like nobody's there. So his caddy's a lefty. He had to like huck a ball from way down the fairway. I had to hit a provisional out into the fairway, but they were just running around the golf course trying to get out of there.
I thought they're golf course wise, we want to do that now. Like, I thought there was it's a pretty severe piece of land. I thought it was like, after playing it on Wednesday, and I still feel this way. Everybody calling it narrow, I don't think that's accurate. It's not a narrow golf course. The rough was not up. It was a third as much rough as they had at Castle Pines last year or at Olympia Fields in 23 or even Wilmington. But I think it's some of the shaping on the greens is still like there's a lot more going on the greens than there was. But you just look at some of the greens, and even on the front versus the back, it's like they had 2 different guys shaping the greens, and the Foz like wasn't there editing anything. And so there's just certain spots like the back of 7 green or what's the downhill par 3 or 4?
3.
3.
Yeah, it's like, like that doesn't make any sense. Or like there's just stuff that like they can't even put a pin in certain spots or use certain stuff because it's just a little bit too turned up. I do think it would have been a little bit of carnage if it wouldn't have rained so hard on Thursday afternoon. We would have been in for some like ejections this weekend because it would have been pretty crispy.
I mean, there was still I enjoyed watching the top 30 cut line. I appreciated NBC putting that on screen. And that wasn't I thought they did a good job of sticking with that storyline with Akshay and Ricky was in, then he's out. Michael Kim, that was fun. That kept me engaged, and especially in the early back 9 when it was like, oh God, this is, Bob's just fading, kind of hang doggy. Scotty's just doing the Aquaman thing. Like this is both very impressive, but also might be kind of boring. The top 30 thing did keep my attention.
I do think Global Golf Post had something about it this week. There's all sorts of people. We can talk about Tour Championship this week on our happy hour as far as what to do with that format and everything. But I do think that it would be more interesting if you just had 70 top, like everything's wiped clean before the playoffs, and top 70 plays to get into the next week, and the top 50 advances for that individual week. And then you're adding some jockeying in on Saturday and Sunday instead of it all being mathematical and it's a math equation, top 70 into 50 into 30, and it's just that week. It doesn't carry over to the next week.
That would give us variance and volatility, though, TC. We have to have very predictable schedules.
I just, if I had one thing I'd like to talk to Brian Rolap about, it's like, why don't we just revisit the match play conversation in some form or fashion, whether it's the last event or it just feels like it's, I don't know, it's kind of doing golf fans a disservice. There's just, now that we don't have a match play event in the season, I know I'm not breaking new ground here, but I think the fact that you do that and then you allow the Tour Championship to move around like the BMW does, and I think you're starting to find something.
I think that's going to happen either way.
I hope it does, because I love that about this tournament.
I think all 3 are going to move around.
Yeah, man. You got to get to these bigger markets, and just there's a lot of golf fans that would love you to visit their city every 3 or 4 years.
This is the old way of doing things. Like this can't last. Like with new fresh leadership, there's no way.
I understand this is how we do it. Impact of play, but like let's get the fresh set of eyes. Take a look, man, because I think if you had people just gunning to be in the top 64 or 32, I don't know what the number is, we could figure out how to monetize it, guys. I think I would be locked in based on what I'm watching in the USAN this week. It's good TV.
And then maybe put more bonus money around the regular season finale to juice that up. And that's how we're going to award our regular season champion, is by playing the same way we played all year, stroke play. Cause that's always the concern is like, hey, we're going to a different format that we don't play the rest of the year. But if it was like, no, all right, now in the playoffs, we're going to do match play, and it's going to, at least for the final one.
This is completely half-baked. I'm coming up with this on the spot. But what if, again, you can get creative. There's no reason you have to have the final 3 tournaments be just golf tournaments, right? What if the first day of the first 2 playoff events is like, or maybe it's 3 events. The first day, everybody plays match play. And then you play 54. I know you can't possibly have a 54-hole stroke play tournament, but like the first day is your match, right? And then if you like, it's double elimination. If you lose twice, you don't get to make the final bracket match play. But then the final week is match play. But there's a little bit of matches. That would make Thursday must see stuff instead of just, hey, I can catch the stroke play golf on Sunday, versus like, hey, let's play a round robin or some kind of match play start to get things going. I don't know. There's ways to think of this a bit great. There's an in-season tournament in the NBA now, which is, I know, kind of a mockery, but like it's at least intriguing. Like you're way more like likely to tune in to a middle of the season game or series at some point.
MLB playoffs or NBA playoffs, like those are series. They don't play series in the regular season.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%. I think it also opens up the last event of the regular season. Whoever's the regular season title, that's a great title to have. You get a bunch of money for that, and it's an opportunity to like elevate another event. Okay, cool. That's going to be the FedEx is going to take that one, and then you have 2 match play events played over 2 weeks. I just being out here this week, and I felt this way last year. It's like I feel like this is the last week. I'm just not locked into. I mean, now without the starting strokes, that helps. Definitely helps that it doesn't feel as gimmicky next week, but. I don't know. 30 guys isn't. It's just not enough. Like if Tommy wins next week, it's going to be like
never going to live that down.
Yeah, and that's unfair.
Wins golf's ultimate prize.
Let's worry about that if we get there. Okay, let's not roll our eyes at a Tommy.
Honestly,
I honestly think.
I hope Scotty wins by 10, and they just have to change it.
I hope they change it like Saturday night. He's got like an 8-shot lead, and they're just like, all right, we're going to do something different on Sunday.
Shout out to Paula Abdul though. They're playing straight up.
We cannot go by. They just can't go by without us mentioning the straight up commercial. I hope people have seen this of them like billing this as a great new, like just reinventing stroke play golf tournament and just setting it to Paula Abdul straight up. Now tell me, I'm sorry. We should have carved out more time in advance of this to properly make fun of that. That's like 2018 PGA Tour shit with that one.
It's getting the message out though.
They kind of stopped doing this stuff.
We're talking about it.
They would do this on the LIV Under Par era. Man, how much fun that was for how much dumb stuff. This was
they deleted the LIV Under Par era.
Yeah, they pretty much said, take this away, delete me from this, which reminds me, Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment, but now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. What do data brokers do? Your name, contact info, social security number, home address, even information about your family members could all be compiled by data brokers and sold online. Listen, as a few of us here have an active online presence, privacy, very, very important. If you've ever been a victim of identity theft, harassment, doxing, or even if you haven't, you probably know somebody who has, and Delete Me can help with that. What they do is they send you sign up for it. It sends you a report of all the places where they've wiped your data from, and you'd be surprised where you'll see your name and your address and your information at a variety of places on the internet that you probably never even heard of. So take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting NLU to 64000. The only way to get 20% off is to text NLU to 64000. Again, NLU 64000. Message and data rates may apply.
So I just showed Neil my privacy report.
I got my privacy report last month. I need to get Carson one of those. She keeps getting her. I don't know. Whatever.
They're active.
Those folks are new active. Credit card like every 2 months. Like fraudulent charges. You get that stuff wiped.
Get it straightened out. Some other scores. Again, we mentioned the Tommy lad continues to play great golf. I know we've probably spent we've probably spent the appropriate amount of time kind of documenting the late round stuff that's gone on, but continues to hit the shit out of the ball and put the ball in the hole at much better rates than a lot of other players in the world. So taking a moment to shout that out. Sam Burns, as we mentioned, T4. Do we want to kind of get into some Ryder Cup impact of all these things? It's kind of hard to start naming some of these names and not think about it in some way. I know we want to
go by team.
Well, I mean, you get to that name Harry Hall, and you think about You
Well,
know,
no, all right. Let's talk.
boys-
If we're gonna do that before we get to Harry Hall, we got to talk Sam Burns.
Sam Burns.
Burns on the team.
I think he's making a strong case to be on the team. He has experience in the event. He's, I don't think he's scared. He's playing good golf. Feels like he's making a late charge. Okay, I'll say this:
He's Scotty's little
the
security
6 through
blanket.
12,
There
6
it
through
is.
15 on the U.S. side was not good this week. I mean, the only the good news for Keegan is like Goddard and Novak played just not good. Goddard sneaks into the Tour Championship. Got crowned at the 29 or 30 position. I don't know, Sal. You seem to be pretty high on Goddard. How you feeling about him right now?
I'll take this moment to ask for and request my ServPro mulligan, if you'll allow me. ServPro, of course, the #1 brand in cleanup and restoration, known for any mess like it never even happened. I fell into the trap. I didn't say what I was thinking at the time, which is like, hey, there's months out. Let's not get swept up in a recent run of play. Again, we're playing this Ryder Cup in an era where the Tour Championship is wrapping up so far in advance of the tournament. They're setting the team so far in advance. You can't play the hot hand game. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. And I got swept up in the Goddard for Ryder Cup stuff. It has not looked good the last several weeks. He had to play really, really, really close to flawless golf. I'm lucky that the only thing I don't regret is we had time to fix this mistake. But I have regretted kind of putting him in dark pencil. I didn't ink him onto the team, but I had him slotted into the team, and I think you can.
But by that same logic, doesn't he have a bunch of time to turn it around too?
Not really. There's Tour Champion. He backdoors his way into Tour Championship.
I'm just saying, as far as from now until the Ryder Cup, it's like you said, it's like six weeks away.
Right, but he needed to go sprint through the finish line of when they're making the picks. He's got one more start before they make the picks, and I think it's just really hard to convince yourself. Like, he had 3 really good weeks in the middle of the summer, not a lot before that, not a lot after it. It's just really hard to get excited about that. You're just more likely to pick a guy with a longer track record. Like, that's kind of
like Ricky.
You're so good at this. You're very, very good at this.
Ricky, NBC had him on for an interview right after Scotty spot.
That kind of
totally stopped the momentum.
I ice things a little bit.
But anyways, thanks to ServPro with over 2,200 locations nationwide, now 22 in one to help me out with this one. They're faster to any size disaster. You can visit servpro.com or call 1-800-ServPro today, and we can just pretend like I never fell into that trap. All right, because that one's going away.
Solly, I do think I think Cam Young solidified his spot.
I would certainly hope so, but man, it's hard to get this narrowed down here at the very end, and not without having the answer to the Keegan question, which I know has dominated so much of the conversation for like essentially a year now. But there's not spot for all these names. We have the 3 easy names that come off the top, right from the 7 through 9 on the standings, which are JT, Morikawa, and Griffin. And I think Morikawa is very likely to be selected. That's 4. Cam Young makes 5. And if the captain is insistent on picking himself, despite being the 85th best player in the world since his victory in late June, that's the team right there. So that means no Sam Burns. That means no Ricky Fowler. That means no Cantlay's included in that.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. So is there a conversation?
You said JT, Colin,
Ben
Griffin.
And then Cantlay likely,
in addition to that, okay,
is likely to be a pick. Very likely to be a pick. And if Cam Young,
so how are you power ranking Sam Burns, Mav McNealy, Keegan, and Cam Young right now? Those 4.
I would put Cam Young, Sam Burns, Mav, and I think the Keegan thing should not happen. If Keegan was not the captain, I think he would fit nicely into that 12th spot. But I just don't think that makes sense at all. But this is where I don't feel strongly about any of this stuff, because I think the difference at the bottom of the U.S. team is relatively negligible, which I have been saying for 6 months. It's very likely to be rather negligible. This is where having a captain that was entirely dedicated to getting this right, getting the personalities right and getting a plan together and getting an understanding of the guys that he would potentially pick, I think would make a lot of sense. Instead, what it feels like is we're going to get the Keegan Bradley personal vendetta tour. I'm just going to read you some quotes. We touched on this in the happy hour, but this is all direct quotes from Keegan during his press conference prior to this tournament, which is 1, I still have a lot to prove, just as well as everyone around me on the list. He said, I'm really proud of the way I've been able to get inside the ropes and be a player this year. I didn't know how this was going to go. No one knew how this was going to go. I think most people thought I was going to have a horrible year, but that's one of the things I'm most proud of. I'm proud that I won in Hartford, but also proud to perform inside the ropes with everything going on. There's no reason why I can't continue to do that these next 2 weeks. We've got a lot on the line, and I hope to continue. Different quote. Yeah, like everybody's been telling me to start the year that a player can't be captain and have a good year. For me, this is one of my best years I've ever had. And another one on
counting me, man.
This was in response to Rory and others saying he's one of the 12 best Americans. He's, I can tell you honestly, it means the world to me to hear that. I haven't ever really felt that in my career. It's really touching. It means a lot. I really have. The thing I've enjoyed most is getting to know these guys better. It's all about him and his play, and like it's very obvious he's going to pick himself still. And he had a nice day today to finish T17. He shot 3 under 67 to move up the board a little bit. Finished 1 under par for the week. And yeah, T17 out of 49 guys. I'm sure he's what he's going to use to kind of help justify this at this point. But I think Sam Burns kind of gets the automatic just press the button joke is Scotty's security blanket that TC likes to make. I think Burns probably gets a bad rap and doesn't excite people, but he had a bad first session in Rome and played well the rest of that Ryder Cup. I know the record was not good at the President's Cup in 2022. He played really, really good in that event. He's playing some darn good golf. He kind of did not play great since the U.S. Open, but he was not far away from winning the U.S. Open. If he gets a casual water drop, who knows? Things might have gone differently for him. I would feel the most comfortable of all those names with him taking the 12th spot right now. Goddard might have maybe a higher ceiling and maybe a hotter little streak there, but like I would feel safer with Burns. And in a home game, I don't think you need to go far off the board. I think you take 12 relatively talented guys and you're probably likely to win. It just doesn't seem like they should double dip the way the captain's probably planning to do. And it could blow up spectacularly. And I'm kind of excited.
To your math point, I think it's a fair argument. And I think he deserves a big time look, but I think Keegan is probably going to try to avoid any type of like controversy other than, the safe pick is Sam Burns or Cam Young, and then it would be Mav, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I could see Cam, I could see him picking Sam Burns over Cam, and because they can't. It's the last spot's going to go. If Keegan takes himself, then the 12th spot would be Sam Burns or Cam Young. Correct.
For numbers' sake, just throwing this out there, if this matters to people, this does not include this week. Cam Young has been the 5th best American over the last 3 months, plus 1.8 strokes gained. That's really, really good. That is not counting this week, of course, and he finished 11th this week. Burns has been the 11th best at plus 1.49 and obviously finished T4 this week. That's going to go up as well. Mav has not been one of the 12 best Americans over any period of time of 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, or 3 months. I like Mav a lot. I just don't think he's beat down the door enough. And some of these guys that are not in this web, like you got to beat the door down. Like fair or unfair.
This felt a little bit like trying to beat the door down.
Yeah, but I agree with Solly. It's not like I don't find Team USA looking a level deeper on the data. You know what I mean? Like if they're probably gonna take like either they're really playing good and they made a splash like of late hot hand stuff, or pretty surface level like, oh, they've got experience and they team chemistry, and that's where you're gonna probably take Sam Burns.
I think another thing that is underrated is you've got Henley and HE already on the team, and they can kind of pair up with whomever they're pretty malleable.
Well, I'm hoping Burns making the team doesn't mean Scotty and Burns have to play together, because I do love the idea of Henley and Scotty. Like I think that is fantastic. So
we got a good call out from @is the golf good on X, the everything app, this week of I feel like the ball should be talked about more in fringe pick discussions. Does Bryson using the double dot make Cam Young's case stronger so he can play alt shot? Keegan and Spawn, Goddard and Burns not having an overlap, all of that stuff. I think that is an underrated part of building a team.
It is, and it's a little bit, but at the same time, you can put any ball you want in play off any tee. So if you have drastically different balls, I could see that being an issue. But if you play Pro V1 or Pro V1X, the ball you're going to play is whoever's hitting the approach shot in. Like that's what you're going to end up picking. And if the differences aren't dramatic off the tee, I know there's examples of like, Eduardo Molinari told a great story on our pod of like Ludwig tested a certain guy's ball off the tee and it was going 30 yards shorter. And like, that was an X, like we're not pairing you two together in alt shot. That there's an, it's not as dramatic as it used to be because the rule changed on how you put balls in play.
Yeah.
But it is a factor. I'd be surprised if it was like a final deciding. It could be a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
I think
tiebreaker though.
Yeah.
I think the other thing, Sully, I think Xander had a 66 today, which is good to see. Another good round from him. I'm not like, it's not a bit with the Collins stuff. Collins had one top 10.
It's bad
since Bay Hill. He had a T8 at the Rocket Classic.
It's bad.
God.
It has Colin played. Obviously, we know at his core, Colin's one of the best players in the world, one of the 8 best players in the world at minimum, maybe one of the 5 best players in the world at his core. Is he playing at that level right now? No. So how much rope does he get? Does he get the JT 2023 rope? I would lean yes. Again, if he was playing this poorly a week out and they still had a decision to make, like that might feel differently. But a month and a half from now, would I go to battle with Colin over, Mav? Like right now, I would. Like sue me. Like I feel I would be able to trust that talent level just a bit more. I know that's not the conventional line of thinking, and everyone wants to toss these guys aside the second they slump a little bit. But
I'm already operating under the, Keegan's going to pick himself.
I know.
So then it's like, would I rather have Cam Young or Colin? I'd rather have Cam Young.
Well, Cam Young would still fit in.
No, because I'm saying I think that Keegan's going to take Sam Burns. Is what I'm saying. I'd rather have Sam Burns and Cam Young, and I think TC's making a very good point here. I don't think they'll do that, but that's how I feel.
Yeah,
I think Young has done enough over he's whooped Burns' butt on the golf course over the second half of this summer. Whether or not that'll carry the day or not, I don't know.
But Burns has whooped Morikawa's butt on the golf
I know.
course.
I know.
Like at some point you got to make trade-offs. Like it's just the same. It's the same thing as like, I feel like Europe's got all this depth that's percolating. You've got both the Højgaard twins, although Rasmus, we can talk about that. Rasmus kind of gifted that one away, bad double today, and then kind of put a band-aid on everything with an eagle on the 72nd hole to finish one behind. But you got Peng, you've got Harry Hall, talk about that. You've got it's like they're 15, 16 deep. I mean, there's 4 or 5 different Danish guys you could talk about.
I mean, you got Fitzy doesn't make the Tour Championship. Harry Hall does.
Nikolai Højgaard didn't play great this week. Rasmus played much better, but Raitan played well. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I think they're going to bring pretty close to the same team to New York, and then I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens for Adair Manor in 27.
Solly, can we talk about? I saw some Bryson quotes about the is the Procore now out in Napa.
So the Napa event at Silverado, all of Team USA is going, and they were trying to get Bryson to get a sponsor's exemption into the event to suspend the suspension. His quote is, "That's up to the tour and their decision to make. It's on them if they don't let us if they don't let us become together as a team and play." That just shows you, I'm not going to say that. It's a difference. It's a scenario that's unfortunate, and I wish it was different, but LIV's willing to let me play.
Wow.
Of very important note, LIV does not have an event that week, and they, of course, would not have let him play if they did have an event that week. Similar to all the events, they're allowed to play anywhere they want.
I mentioned this on the happy hour, but I asked Russ Henley, I was like, you think Bryson will show up? He's like, he can't. He plays on LIV. I was like, no. Do you think he'll just show up though? Like, he should come hang out and do some team building. He started laughing. He's like, that would be awesome. He definitely should.
Definitely.
That would, So I hope
should film some break 50s that week.
That's what I mean. He could go out there and and it would kind of be him. He could make a whole show of it. How the PGA Tour didn't let him play, and it feels like it's right up Bryson's alley to just go hang out and be out on the course with the fans. Have the Sharpie out, signing a bunch of autographs. Walking, kind of
Question.
Just being a spectator.
Does
Does
like,
that
should
really
Bryce-
make sense for you guys, though, real quick? Like for Bryson not to get an exemption to this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I
Of
don't-
course.
Like, I can't believe they're even like it's like even a discussion. Like, I
know,
don't.
okay.
I mean,
Just making sure.
whether I agree with it or not, I don't think it was ever even under remotely for the even a split second considered. My question is, do you think Bryson plays? Like, I think LIV's done. You know, their team championship is coming up here. And what they had relegation after today, I think.
Allegedly.
The Majestics potentially rocked. Majestics and Cleeks, but does Bryson rock up and play like BMW PGA at Wentworth? I don't think he's barred from that. He could get a sponsor exemption into that, and he would bring the juice for sure, and that would be a quality start for him against a lot of the.
I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll want to create instead.
I think so too. And also, I don't know. I mean, maybe would you have to be a member of the DP World Tour to get a sponsor exemption into a flagship? I don't know. There might be an unrestricted sponsor exemption or two into that, but
I mean,
kind
is
of
there
their
an
version.
Asia Tour event?
It's interesting.
That
Well, I hope he shows up in Napa just to hang out and do some team bonding. I think that would be great for Team USA.
I do too, and I think it's obviously a very good step. I think that the team's actually getting together to play a little golf and beat off some of the stave away some of the, the competitive rust.
Real team building.
Beat off.
Jesus, man, you want another mea culpa?
I'll take that one. I'll take a mulligan on that one too. Stave off some of the competitive rust there. Sorry, guys, I'm struggling here.
I think in other European news, I think obviously we talked Bob, we talked Tommy, Harry Hall, 70 today. I just think the driver's a liability.
Oh my God, it's gross off the tee. It's gross, man. The tee shot he hit on 18, it's just so slappy.
The putter's so good though.
It's
like there was this guy that played
disgusting.
with him in the pro-am, and he was like, that was the best. Like he's like played a lot of golf. He was like, that's the best putter I've ever seen in my life. Victor played well.
Watching the final coverage down at the bar, and some guys like, man, what a sweet fit.
Oh yeah, he was like, look at that look. Outstanding look.
What an outstanding look.
Ludwig didn't play well today, but I guess they were all over him for his putting on Swedish TV, but stats were fine. Rory T12, I'm not worried about him for the Ryder Cup. Fitz looks fine. T17.
Didn't make Tour Championship though.
It is true. Yeah, like Fitz and Michael Kim should be probably pretty bummed.
I mean, I wouldn't be. I think Fitz had a good stretch and in Scotland or kind of through the Open, but I don't feel like he should be a shoo-in.
Shane Lowry played all right for 3 rounds. He had a 75 on Saturday. Team Rose, he's got to be exhausted after Memphis. We'll see. His diligence and his warm-up routine on the range. I watched him 2 days. I just went out to the range specifically to watch Team Rose. He must have had 8 training aids lined up out there. He had a whole studio set up at the end of the range.
He's the consummate.
And there's a guy on the
right
team who is his job is to pick up the training aids and take them back to the locker. Like he's got to have people that he can lean on. Of course,
You said it, took the words out of my mouth.
So otherwise, like the only other really big kind of surprise I had on there was there's not a single Australian heading to Eastlake. Evan Priest, our friend, posted that on X. He said for the first time in the entire FedEx Cup era, there's not a single Australian heading to Atlanta for the Tour Championship.
What it was, Jason Day was the last.
Jason
last
Day,
chance.
Minwoo kind of both petered out this year, and you got Elvis Smiley played. I think he was top 10 on the European Tour this week, but otherwise it's just between Cam and Leash and there's just not
Adam Scott.
There's just not a high upside, high ceiling youngster coming through the ranks right now.
So Ali, going back to our comparison to Adam Scott, Justin Rose might be starting to separate a little bit in that. I mean, those two careers, it was kind of like, would you rather have a win at Augusta or a US Open? But I mean, they have such similar careers as far as like the types of events they won, how much they've won, one major each. And then Rose is feels like he's getting a late kick here in the
Rose, Ryder Cup stuff as
I
well.
know
that helps.
It's unfair to Scott, but that is like I mean, you're never going to forget the way and he's 14-9-3 in his career in Ryder Cups, and just seemed to make every freaking putt that mattered. To your point, Neil, we don't talk about this enough. Like Fitz is 1-7 in Ryder Cup matches.
Well, he's getting waved through like it's a guarantee.
I've asked the question.
Club. I mean, that's the lads club right there.
That's the one I've asked the question on a lot of, like, should Fitz be on the team? Should both the Højgaards be on the team? You just pair them up together and they go make 14 birdies between the two of them. They might make a couple doubles, but
I mean, have they made 14 birdies in the last several months? I mean, I don't know if you can just say that. Those are just words. You can't just say that.
Like finish
words
solo
matter,
second.
TT.
At the Danish Open, where there's like 3 guys in the field, like this is where you just get carried away. 16 guys deep, like this is where you get carried away.
Do you really believe in the Luke Donald is screwing Harry Hall?
Yeah, for sure. This is horrible treatment of Harry Hall. He's been the 5th best European over the last 3 months. Nobody even talked to him. I can't think of a worse example of a closed off boys club. This is pathetic.
I think Harry Hall's making a true consistent late stage push here, and he's getting ignored.
How do you ignore it? That's the bad part. Like I'm mostly.
He said he hasn't even gotten a call. That's bullshit.
Maybe they haven't fit anybody for uniforms yet. Like you don't know that, right? But he said he's had limited interaction with them. I did enjoy his pressers this week, and he's been. I don't know. I'm coming around on Harry Hall. I like the guy. He seems like he's just about the right stuff.
If there was like a real way to do alt shot where he would only putt, he would be like the first round. Like his putting stats
have to wear that
insane.
To wear that outfit too, he must have immense self-confidence.
He carries around this backpack all over the property. He just had this backpack on the whole time. It looked like the first day of school.
Between like the black blow-by shoes today, the hat, just constantly wearing black polos, the mustache. I mean, it's just really something to behold.
I think we can cross Dietrich off the list. He finished 46th. He was plus 17.
I got a fun little stat here. I mean, Harry Hall since I just pulled up since May 4th, like beginning of May, since May 1st, number 1 in the world in strokes gained putting by a lot. Guess who number 2 is?
Sam Burns.
It's Rory. Number 2 in the world in putting since the beginning of May. Yeah, did not have that one. Cameron Young is 4th on that list. Sam Burns 6th.
We're living in the upside down right now.
Yeah, Fitz is 7th. Like that's one. I mean, Fitz has been the 3rd best European over the last 3 months.
I think Fitz is also a radically different player than he was.
Yeah,
during the first, then over 50 or 60% of those Ryder Cup matches that he's played.
He played, Whistling Straits and, Hazeltine. I mean, Hazeltine, he wasn't managed very well there, and Whistling Straits was kind of a mess anyways. So, and he had one especially really good match in Rome. I know that we all remember, but so I think I wouldn't be, that's not a major strike against him.
I think going to Denmark real quick, I do think Marco Pang, like 2nd win of the year. I think the first one was like the Hainan Open, but like 4th.
That'd be the
4th top 3 on the DP World Tour. He'll probably play the PGA Tour next year. So I don't think you can put him on this year. But his game fits Bethpage to a T, especially if they don't have the rough up. It doesn't sound like they're gonna have the rough up there. Christopher Wright's played well.
The 12th pick then on Europe? Like, what was it between Nikolai and Rasmus?
That's probably what I would guess, and I would lean Rasmus. Rasmus has had a far better go of it. And, he was like basically an assistant captain in Rome, like he knows what it's all about. I don't know. I think the hope would be you play both of them in Ireland.
Nikolai's had a far better run in the last 3 months. But Rasmus had a great one. I would be surprised. I'd be surprised if they didn't just take the 12 from last year or from 2023. I think they've been talking that way, and I think that seems to be where things are trending.
Otherwise, I think just to run through, Molinari played with Nikolai and Raitan. Molinari played really well, actually. Francesco. Rasmus dusted Norgard and Rasmus Niergaard Peterson didn't play well. Nikolai Højgaard didn't play well. Matt Wallace had a final round 81. So I think that kind of crosses his stuff off. And then just wanted to shout out Chris Wood. Finished top 20. Keeps fighting his way back from the wilderness. He's inside the top 1,000 in the world. And I like Solly. I still remember when he came on the No Laying Up pod way back. And like that guy played on a Ryder Cup team. And he's a, just a classy guy. Rooting for him to keep the momentum going.
Grinder. Guys, I got a fun little segment for you. We're going to shout out to our friends at SoFi, the ultimate finance app, for sponsoring today's Get Your Money Right moment. You go to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. You can nominate ideas for the Get Your Money Right moment segment. I got 2 little quiz sections for you here. All right. First one's going to be career earnings game. One of my favorite games in the world. I'm going to throw some names at you. You're going to guess some career earnings. And then I got a little surprise for the second segment, which I think is going to be a lot harder. But some interesting names that we've seen pop up.
And FedEx Cup bonuses do not count for career earnings until now. They do.
Not for this first part. This is career earnings on the PGA Tour, on the course. No PIP, no Comcast, no nothing. Career earnings for Justin Rose on the PGA Tour.
I'll say 42 million.
Yeah, I was going to be fishing there. I'm gonna bump it up a little bit to 46.
$73.1 million for Justin Rose.
That changed, I feel like, in the last couple of years.
Probably another what?
They're giving a lot of
probably another 30 on the DP World Tour.
Probably at least. Hideki Matsuyama, how much money has he made on the PGA Tour?
I would say Hideki's in that same ballpark.
I'll go
say
first.
60.
All right, never mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's less than Justin Rose. I will say $56 million.
61.4. Y'all are fishing in the right. Okay. This is a Charles Howell III Memorial Award for Russell Henley. Can walk around anywhere he wants and has earned
$43 million.
I'll say 36.
41.9.
I knew it was one because I looked it up recently. I thought it might have gone up.
We talked about that this week. Actually,
I think it's probably closer. It's probably not 43 quite yet, but
he made 372 this week. Yeah. So Keegan Bradley, how much did he make on the PGA Tour?
He had some lean years there.
Yeah, he did
in the interim. I would say 28.
36.
$54.6 million.
Whoa.
It's been around a long time, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he won the PGA in 2011. I mean, that was 14 years ago. Never lost his card. Like he's been, Ricky Fowler, how much he made on the PGA Tour?
$58 million.
I'll go. I feel like Ricky's been around not quite as long as Keegan. Has it won? Probably won similar. He's played really well in majors. I'll say 50.
53.4.
Okay.
Jason Day.
God, he's just.
I'll say 60.
I'll go 64.
64.6.
Ooh.
Well done. Last one, Scotty Scheffler. Honestly, I don't know how to answer this one because I get confused on the Tour Championship where some of that.
I would say, has he cracked 100 million?
He has not. And I think like last year's 25 million counts towards FedEx bonus and not, but that was like that was one of the
I'm going to say $89 million.
Like 90, 91 or something like that.
92.7. You guys are getting good at this game. So the final part of this, career FedEx Cup bonus money. I'm going to give you five names.
So throwing the other stuff away.
Throw it away. FedEx Cup bonus money only.
Justin Thomas. So this doesn't include Comcast or the BMW bonus this year and all that stuff.
This is FedEx Cup bonus money 2007 to 2024. Doesn't count the last 2 weeks or any of the distributions from like the standings from this week or last week.
And we're not talking annuitized. Straight cash.
Straight cash, homie. Justin Thomas.
I'm going to say $62 million.
I will say, I'll say 80.
25. I don't know.
Okay. No, I mean, these bonuses are getting, I guess without the Comcast stuff, it's just the year-end bonus. Okay.
Yeah, we got to reset
And
here.
not including the PIP.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Tiger Woods.
We should do an all-encompassing
Yeah.
I can
Just
work on that
all
in the future
bonuses.
segment.
Funny money.
Aeon risk reward, you know, Kodak challenge. Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Don't get carried away here because the money didn't get very silly.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go $11 million.
He won the tour. Oh, but yeah, he didn't win the Fed. Okay. It's say 35.
28.6. He did win the
Okay.
the 2007 and 09.
I was
10 million.
thinking
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
there was not as much funny money back when he was balling.
Scotty Scheffler.
$89 million. I'm going right back where I started.
I'll go 30.
35.7.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was a serious guess from you.
No, I was gonna guess again, but how much was it?
35.7.
Okay.
Xander Schauffele.
I think Xander's at like 45.
I'll say 35.
Owns Eastlake.
29.2, but
Okay.
you're right. Last one, Rory McIlroy.
He's won twice. I think 3 times. It's 50.
I'll say 38.
$56 million.
Whoa.
He is the most. Scotty's second on the list. Xander
Okay.
is third. Tiger fourth. DJ's fifth at 27 million. But it didn't get weird until 20. Last year really we were just like straight 25 million. Because it was
$40
bonus
million purse coming up, and it's
What, 10 million to the winner?
yeah, but it's just not making me.
This is getting gross. Can we
I
talk about
know.
the USAM?
No,
We can.
It doesn't.
Well-
it doesn't make me excited to watch the tournament next week. I wish it.
No.
I wish it was that easy, but it doesn't. And
I do think Scotty like wanting to dominate people makes me want to watch the tournament though.
Fair enough.
It is phone booth SCN. So thank you to our friends at SoFi, the all-in-one finance app, for sponsoring the Get Your Money Right segment. Go to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. TC, you want to talk about the USAM?
I do, unless you got anything else with Liv.
No, I
Liv
mean,
Indianapolis.
I watched a little bit of it. Sebastian Munoz shot 59 on Friday. At one point, I think he birdied 17 of 18 holes. David Fairty said he'd never seen anything like it, and he followed Tiger Woods around for 2 decades. So
Hold on. Before we move off, I do want to address Ben Griffin ODing on creatine. Like that is like what an awesome
It's like
post-round
Neil
quote.
Schuster circa 2000.
Well, yeah, like I definitely
2007.
went hard on the pre-workout in college. I got
Cramping up.
some bad migraines. Doctors like he should probably stop taking that stuff. It's bad for you. But like creatine has some neurological benefits. I've been hearing. But man, for him to be like, yeah, I was getting the shakes, and my caddy stepped in and said, "Hey, why don't you chug this water?" And he started off triply, 4-putted the first hole, hit his OB on 2. I think he bogeyed 3. And then he went 7 under over the remaining 15 holes or something, made a big putt at the end.
he shot
It
one
was
under.
just like,
yeah.
they asked him in the post round, like, yeah, what happened there? He's like, oh yeah, man, I just like got a big snowball of creatine, just got me all messed up. Like, what an awesome answer. What an awesome answer.
Yeah, he was 6 over through 3, parred the next 3, then went birdie, and then shot 4 under on the back by birdieing 13, 15, 16, and 17 to shoot 1 under par after starting triple, double, bogey. The dude's a dog, man. He is clearly one of the best players in the world. And yeah, that story is going to make the rounds for sure.
Yeah, and it's sorry, I thought you were gonna shout out the Liv story with Hatton with playing "I'm a Little Teacup."
Excuse me, I had a cough there. Yeah, I was just it was a wonderful moment. They what was it? They could prank somebody with the song, or they were and they played that song for him right before he teed off. He's just so zany, man. He just it's all great, very good for the game. But that tickled you. Don't put words in my mouth.
He had to step off twice because he was laughing so hard. Just a good-natured bloke out on the golf course. What I think the USAM. I don't want to be hyperbolic here, but I don't think it is. I think I was wrapped by it all. Some of that was it being in prime time.
The prime time thing helps a ton.
When you're sitting,
it's easy watching at night.
Well, and it's easy watching at night. It's social on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday when you're sitting at the bar, you're sitting in the club or wherever. And I think NBC did you can take some shots at I think they missed a lot in like the round of 32, and they were a little late to some of the underdog stories, but I thought Brentley Romine did a great job with interviews. The drone shots were awesome. The fog rolled in San Francisco last night. Watching it like the finals on right now, this 17-year-old like high school junior has Jackson Harrington in a blender. He's 5 up through 19. I think Olympics, like, it's a really good course for it. It's the back-to-back par 5s, 16 and 17. 18's like just an awkward length.
Yeah.
But it's just been watching it all week. I mean, really I thought Preston Stout played awesome in stroke play. Really, really impressive performance. Our friend Andrew Bailey made it through that. He was in the top 20. Shout out to him. But like all the way through, every single match was just like, there was just great drama in every round. And I thought Abdo, the kid from Minnesota, from Gustavus Adolphus, like he played awesome. He was a great story. Niall Shields-Donegan was like, that was my favorite. That was the most fun I've had watching golf this year outside of maybe the Masters.
Yeah, him just like turn on the jets and flipping it in every match at the
end. Like, the entire town of Mill Valley, like driving down to support him. And I don't know, it was just like everything that club golf is about, and local boy made good. And like Lawrence Donegan's a friend of mine, and just, I don't know, Niall seems like such an earnest, just really, really well-adjusted, I say kid, guy, like man, like he's going to UNC next year. He was at Northwestern the last couple of years. And I don't know, I just think it just made me feel good about golf.
I would go back to it really helps when they show the drone shots and people are in the fairways. Just I don't know, it makes you nostalgic for when in those round of 32, round of 16 matches, there's not that many people out there. Olympic suite with the fog, like you said. I want to shout out that guy Eric Lee from Oklahoma State. I mean, he's just
gamesmanship.
No, not the bathroom thing. I'm talking about the match before. I think I can't remember who he was playing, but they had a matchup in the NCAAs, and I think he beat this kid in a similar way where he was in like bad spot. He chipped in on 17, and then the other kid hit it like off into a tree on 18, and it was like match was over in the fairway. But just like kind of the complete reversal of why I think watching match play with the pros would be so much fun at the end of the season. Like, I think you could figure it out commercially is I guess
set up the course.
There's a bit of a, and NBC has done a good job of like, they had some stuff to work with. You got like some names in there, like John Daly II. It's going to catch casual fans' attention. You know what I mean? Like they did a pretty good job of outlining, or introducing some of these underdogs.
I think Burkowski's done an awesome job on the broadcast. I think Colt's been good on it. Like it's been it showed they cared. And I think it's a good sign as we head into USGA and, Versant and
my guys.
And, NBC Universal, they formally announced that this week that they extended that out through 2032. But just, there was good storylines every round, and it showed off well. Now, granted, like it's frustrating when you can't watch the first 16 or 17 holes of the finals, right?
Yeah.
Or you got to wait until, halfway through the semis even. But I do think it's just, like Herendeen against Koiven was awesome. There was just so many.
Miles Russell.
Yeah, there were so many reversals.
That guy's got juice.
And it was just so topsy-turvy at the end. And I thought, like, when Niall hit that wedge, it looked like he holed it from that had to have looked so good from the fairway. And then that, it doesn't spin, and he's 20 feet or 25 feet past and almost makes the putt. And then, the other guy, Harrington, who's played awesome. He just like lashes at the ball lefty, and he just cans the birdie putt after losing a 2-up lead through 15. And it was, I don't know, it was just, and to see everybody rally around Niall and like the hooting and hollering and all it was like unabashed, like pure joy. And there was something like so authentic about it, of like, this kid must be the man for like all these adults to just treat him with this level of respect and adulation. It was awesome. So
it was something about Olympic too. Like I don't think I need Olympic in the US Open Rhoda. Like I don't know if I need to watch 4 rounds of stroke play there, but it worked for match play, especially the primetime element. It's like a really good golf course, not the most interesting to watch on repeat.
Spooky setting for a duel. You know, it has just catches your eye on TV, you know, with the dark green and kind of the way the bunkers are shaped and the elevation. It's great. I would say, you know, here's another idea for the FedEx Cup playoffs. What if we do match play? What we do member guest scoring solves the commercial issue. Solly, you get him, you know, like what TC and I do when we play a match. It's like he'll win 3-2, and I'm like, no, we're playing this out so that the record shows that you only got me by 1 up.
It seems like Gil's made it a little bit better too. Olympic, just greens are bigger. It seems like a more complete test of golf.
Looks like a nightmare. I think it's a golf course I would shoot 94 on. I think
there's so many hanging. There's so many awkward lies. You got to like work the ball against the way that the ball.
You're trying to hit a draw when the ball's below your feet a lot.
The par threes are like really good. But yeah, I think, and just generally speaking, like it was pretty jarring to see like the ages of the quarterfinalists were 16, 18, 18, 19, 20, 20, 20, and 22. Like they're getting better. Younger and younger and younger
guys, putting us out the pasture. So.
Yeah, and I think
have fun at the Creator Classic next week, old timer.
And I think just looking at future venues like Marion next year, Marion's going to be,
I know,
unbelievable.
Awesome.
Like Philly's got it going on next year between Aronimink for PGA and Marion for USAM. I'm stoked for the Walker Cup in a couple weeks, or you know, like in 3 weeks, I guess. You know, hopefully Niall's on that team. And like, that was the other thing. Like he probably didn't have a shot at making the team unless he made it to at least the round of 16.
He made it to the final 4. Right?
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. And you got Oak Hill.
Yeah.
In
you got Oak Hill. You got Whistling Straits. I'm not sure if that's the best venue for that. Inverness in 2030, a redesign Atlanta Athletic Club in 2031, the Honors in 2032.
Sorry, that's 2030 for Atlanta Athletic, 31 for yeah. Sorry, I typed that out weird. But
Chambers Bay, the Country Club at Brookline, Erin Hills, Scioto, like it's just good stuff. And I hope they keep investing in this TV product, because like it's a bummer in the finals when guys 5 or 6 up pretty soon after. And it's like, oh, like we didn't see how that happened or whatever. But
I just think match play for casual fans, though, it's, I think about it like if I threw this on at my in-laws' place, it's a lot easier to understand. It's just like, oh yeah, these 2 guys are playing each other. Yeah. It's something you can just pick up to real quick. And I know if matches end on the 12th hole, that sucks for the TV window. But I don't know.
It's just,
nest? Yeah.
Does the final need to be 36 holes? Like it's less likely to be close.
But
that's probably just
ground down.
I know it's tradition, but they got to be exhausted. It's not on, like, the good part is not on TV. Like, it's usually you flip it on by the halfway point.
They I don't know. That sticks with the USGA's mission. Like the toughest test. It's like,
but they've gone back on the 18-hole
US
playoff
Open.
In the US Open.
Fair enough.
But I do think, Solly, the one thing is the guys only play 18 holes on semifinal day, so they can kind of rest back up a little bit there. And I do think there is something about a 36-hole final that you get to see interesting golf on different parts of the golf course. Like maybe the 5th through 7th hole in the second round is like, that's where the match happens, right? Or I don't know. It seems like it's a different presentation there. But yeah, shout out to USGA, shout out to everybody out there. That was my favorite tournament of the year so far.
One note I missed on the on LIV Indianapolis, Jon Rahm won the individual title and the $18 million bonus. I don't know if you guys saw this on the Everything app. How many quick trivia question for you? How many wins did Jon Rahm have this year on the LIV Golf Tour?
None.
That is correct. And your boy Joaquin Niemann won 5 and somehow did not win the individual title. So
now Rom lost in a playoff today. So, Torquay's hot right now.
Off the streets.
Who got relegated?
Well, we don't know that yet because last time this happened, they just signed a lot of these guys right back up. But I believe I saw some of the names here. I saw Ryan French tweeted it out. I can pull it up. He said, if it stands, the following players will not be on LIV next season: Henrik Stenson, Andy Ogletree, Mito Pereira, Yuban Jang, Anthony Kim, and Frederick Ketterup.
I think Ketterup's like single-handedly cost the Cleeks.
I'm sorry, TC. I'm really sorry about that.
A bummer. So
especially with their like derelict collection.
Are the message boards just up in arms? Like, what's the scene on Cleek Twitter?
Yeah, it's not good. I guess they're I have heard rumors. They finished 11th, only 10.5 points. They finished way behind the high flyers for that.
God,
10th
where do
spot.
the Ironheads go from here?
But I think just as much, like Range Goats finished 9th, Smash GC finished 8th. They're not even relevant and as part of the conversation. No wins this year. Ironheads,
everybody makes the playoffs, right?
I think so. Everybody makes the team championship.
Ironheads got 1 total point for the year.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, they finished 8th at 8th in Miami.
And the Majestics had 9.16 points.
Yeah, but it sounds like the Cleeks they're gonna shake things up in a big way. They got a big trade coming up, I think. I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
A trade?
Yeah, a trade.
Okay.
You can do
trade
that?
and then potentially a signing. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to trade. Maybe they'll trade some of the.
Is it a sign and trade?
T-shirts and stuff.
Stay under the cap or what?
I don't know. I don't know if it's transition tag or a restricted free agent tender, all that kind of stuff. Bird rights, So I think the course up in Detroit where they're doing the team championship, it sounds like it's going to be a turkey shoot. Just not.
This week was not much better. I think
a lot of
Torquay was
houses on that
64 under par this week as a team. If I have that right. Yeah. And I think again, they play 54 holes. It looks like the Munoz and Rahm were in a playoff at 22 under par after 54 holes. I guess Rahm shot 60 today. That's the first time hearing of this with a bogey on the 14th.
That was Munoz, his 59, he had 2 bogeys.
Jesus.
It's crazy. It kind of looked like he was going to shoot 59 a second day in a row.
He was even through 5 and shot 59. He birdied 11 of the last 12 holes.
Sally, another note from this week. We had the Akshay hole-in-one, which was sweet.
Yeah.
I thought I almost made a hole-in-one on that hole. I would have joined the brother.
God, Akshay couldn't make up his mind this week. Played horrible in round 1. Yeah. Hole-in-one kind of kicks off a good run, and then
he got his money right. Couldn't get his money right.
Then he kind of blew it at the end today. So,
but he got his caddy a car and a scholarship, an Evans scholarship in his name.
And then I didn't see Fitz putting into the water on 11.
Yes, they shaved that down. That was a sweet. I saw Siwoo Kim spin one back, almost go in and then roll into the water, which he was not thrilled about. But I loved every minute of it.
And then Solly, I think pace of play. I think the tour, I give them a lot of credit. They're starting to really, really, really focus and hone in. And I think between some of the stuff they're baking into ShotLink and just, between the new studios building where all these feeds are coming in, it sounds like I know they approached Scotty and Bob.
Well, they put him on the clock yesterday, and Scotty apparently didn't like that. He felt like Bob was slowing him down, but they were both playing pretty slow, and they have the data and the cameras to kind of show these guys in scoring. Like, well, sit down with me and let's watch the 2-minute drill here. And it's like, no, you got to sit and watch all of it because I had to watch all of it.
Don't look
the
at
eye
your
in
phone.
the sky doesn't
Don't
lie,
look at your phone.
Right? Yeah. And so I think it seems like it's happening more and more where they're actually putting guys on the clock and they're actually it's not just bullshit fines after the fact that these guys don't care about. And I think they put up that pace of play chart on the broadcast as well, which that's awesome. That's
for
killer.
Cantlay, of course, that was sick.
Well, I think they should. I know they don't want to give guys a scarlet letter, but guys should play fast. That would be very motivating. But being able to play and make decisions quickly, I think, is a skill that should be tracked. like just like feet of putts made. You know, we track every other thing. Like, what about like, oh man, this guy plays like he plays really fast, and it's not just an eye test on how fast he plays. I actually think that's interesting data. So I know it's probably
and you got to marry up both.
radioactive
You got to
with
have
those
the
guys.
data, and it's like, hey, dude, I just watched like I just watched you do this too. Like, you know, you're not getting the benefit of the doubt here because the stats don't back it up. You know?
Yeah, I think I'm like anti-shot clock because I think there are instances where
I don't
like,
need a shot clock. But
yeah,
but still,
every shot, you can go over 40 seconds on a shot, but like ultimately, when you add up all the data, if you stick out amongst your peers, like yes, that's a problem that needs to be solved for.
Solly, as always, it's about the totality of the plays.
well, also, you know, the common, you know, it's not excuse, but with the players, like, why should I speed up? I'm just going to wait on the next tee. It's like, well, if y'all, you know, if everybody's worried about being labeled a slow player, it would probably just speed.
It's not going to
things
happen
up.
overnight, but it's, I think there's some low hanging fruit to.
These events are great to press this where everybody goes off the first tee and you're playing in twosomes. Like it should flow. Like this should flow really well. Where I've always been like, dude, there's nothing you could do. Is threesomes off 2 tees. Like it's bound to stink. I do want to shout out. I just want to follow up on TC. Did shout out Hideki in the preview pod and pre-fluffed himself for shouting him out.
Yeah. How about my Hideki play? He didn't make a play. He just called him out.
Didn't submit him amongst his picks, but also wanted to fluff himself for having a hot start. He finished T26 out of 49 guys. So
I'd like to come clean. Just a mulligan. Sung Jae, you know, sorry, I was off again.
Yeah.
Just, you know, he snuck into the tour championship. He should renounce his spot. It's just a shame. Just not good stuff from Sung Jae.
He'll probably. What if he wins?
Well, I won't. Yeah, there certainly will be a week when he burned me the week before, and I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
It's a home game for him. He lives in Atlanta now.
That's true. What did he
What's
shoot
worst
today?
case scenario?
Well, he shot 67 today, 77 yesterday.
Yeah.
What's worst case scenario for the tour this week? Nick Taylor, Jacob Bridgman.
I was gonna say, yeah, you hate Jacob Bridgman.
I
He's
don't know
like
if I've
really
ever
good.
mentioned his name until just now. Like I don't think I've ever said.
No,
a word about him.
you've always shit
No,
on
you got a
him.
vendetta against him.
You've
been shitting on him for years, man.
I don't know a thing about him.
Shitting on him.
No, Solly, like whenever we've mentioned Novak,
that's not true.
or Keegan
That's
or something
so
like
not
that,
true.
you've always said, yeah,
No.
you know what? He just moved above.
I would
Jacob
be honest with you.
Bridgman.
I kept running. You know,
That's
when you're at a
true.
golf tournament and you're like, you kind of just keep running into the same group. I ran into Bridgman like 4 days in a row where I was like, I don't want to watch. I don't really want to watch. Oh, God. It's like, oh, let me walk up to 7T, see who's there. It's like Jacob Bridgman. I'm like, okay. You know, it's like, God, I can't get away from this guy.
No
did offense to him, though.
Keep you posted on his status of Keegan passing him in the Ryder Cup points list. That's what you're referring to, I believe.
Yes.
But
He was like, you treated him as the replacement level guy or whatever.
yes, and he finished 27th in the Ryder Cup points list, one ahead of Spieth.
Which you weren't ready to stick a fork in Spieth until like last week.
I'm still not ready. I still think he can get hot. I mean,
Solly on the Ryder Cup pod was like, yeah, thinking about maybe, you know, considering that it might be time to say that Spieth can't come to Bethpage. Maybe.
not
He
yet.
should be an
I'm not there
assistant
yet.
captain with Greller.
I never
anyway.
once said he should be on the team, just for the record, despite getting
come on, man.
many angry. I was so careful on that one. Many angry messages about that one. I said it was more likely than not that he was gonna
More
make
likely
it.
than not. I
But
don't know, Jim.
That's
It
so
seems like you
scummy.
were pushing for him. You wanted him on the team. You needed him on the team.
So a couple other things. Just
You did want him on the team.
I don't think we have to do this right now.
I'm just saying that's okay. He's allowed to be a fan of Spieth.
With the names that were generated at the bottom, I thought it was more likely he would emerge from all of that and play better golf and beat down the door.
I was taking his neck out.
Stinks. It
He has
sucks.
stunk.
You know,
He
stinks.
he doesn't stink as much as people think, but he's not been good enough to make the team.
We're gonna have a big
Definitively.
2026. Spieth's gonna have a big 26. You watch.
God, I hope Greller's an assistant captain. though.
Birkdale. I think Arana makes a good course for him. Obviously, Tommy's gonna win at Shinnecock and Birkdale. But
God, I just hope Tommy wins next week so that you have to deal with the asterisks.
easy flight to Atlanta for me though, big guy.
Sure.
Sully, I did want to
Big
note that the LPGA, they're in Portland this week. The Portland setup, not good. It's a disgrace. It's like a turkey shoot. It's just not challenging at all, and they wonder why like some of the best players aren't on the leaderboard. But I'm hearing some concerning things. They're going up to Toronto, to Mississauga for the coming Canadian Women's Open this upcoming week, and Air Canada, the flight attendants are on strike right now, and they're not flying, and it's a debacle. I think getting into Toronto, so they might have to charter something, or WestJet, or fly Porter Airlines into Toronto, Billy Bishop Airport. But I'm going to be monitoring the hell out of that this week, because I know a lot of ladies have already gotten their flights canceled.
Interesting. What's Air Canada? What's
they're Star Alliance? They're the black sheep of the Star Alliance.
Got it.
Just
who else is in Star Alliance? For those that don't follow it closely,
Lufthansa, ANA, the Spirit of
United
Japan
is also.
United is.
Airlines.
Yeah, I believe the United Airlines is the lead dog in the Star Alliance.
Got it. Okay, I was struggling to piece.
Just like when Delta was in the Sky Team with Aeroflot, the Russian national.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's move on.
I would have led with that, but
we're going to enter the Lions Den next year for the BMW Championship.
Belle Reve,
at Belle Reve again. I think probably a good PGA Tour course. They shouldn't have a major. I'm keeping an open mind for next year, though. Best fans in golf, best fans in baseball.
I was gonna say, is the baseball schedule out yet for next year?
And then they've got Liberty National, Neil's Club in 2027.
Come on, TC. God, you're just spewing just horse manure.
And then
right
it
now.
sounds like it's nothing official here. It sounds like they're going to go to more of a regular, every other year kind of thing in Chicago. Like they're going to bring it back home to Chicago. The WGA,
not the same course,
there.
But just kind of that is the market for.
So every other year,
WGA,
and then bounce around otherwise.
Yeah.
So,
can I go to this event next year? I'm gonna go.
Yeah, we're trying to free you up because you got so many kids, man.
I know.
Yeah,
trying to take some pressure off you on the home front, but please.
I know.
Evan Scholars were great out there. Like we had them in the Pro-Am.
Yeah,
met some today.
Massive shout out to the WGA and just good people, competent, and
build outs are incredible.
Evan Scholars everywhere. Obviously we've joined forces with them. We've got our scholarship we're working towards at Miami.
The U.
It's not the
well.
U,
Let's get the full thing in there. We've established the No Laying Up scholarship at Miami University. It's going to be given out every 4 years and funded in perpetuity. If you want to support that scholarship, nolayingup.com/ESF to donate directly through our portal, or if you have questions about, in any other ways like donor advised funds, send a note to Casey at nolayingup.com. She can help you out. She said she got a few emails this week after we shouted this out on the Wednesday happy hour. But we're going to have a scholarship at Miami University, and like a kid's going to go to college every 4 years on the backs of this from the Evan Scholar Foundation, an organization that we've been wildly impressed with since we started work with them almost 10 years ago now at this point. And we've seen and heard so many great stories and met so many great people, and have seen how Evan Scholars have continue to support the foundation as they've achieved success in the business world and things like that. And it's really, really, really motivating. And that's what I'm playing for this week, the Creator Classic. There's a $100,000 first place prize. I'm of course an amateur golfer. It doesn't help that I'm a bad amateur golfer for my chances to win it, but
hey, 9 holes, man, anything can happen.
8 holes, like
8 holes, even better.
If I manage to win, $100,000 will be going straight to the No Laying Up scholarship. So I'm going to be. That's what I'm grinding
for. Making a dent in it. I think we're like right now we're around 90, but I think pretty soon we're going to be up in that 120K range with plenty of events from us, and I think we're going to splash the pot a little bit here to finish the year. Pumped up about that.
Solly, this was the 11th. Was it? When did we start working with BMW? 2015 or 2017?
No, 2017.
Okay, so next year will be the 10th BMW Championship. I think we've been to.
Yeah, was the first one was when you played with Rom, Solly?
Played with Rom and Ben Higgins from The Bachelor and Brian Urlacher, which
at
was
Conway Farms.
At Conway Farms, that's exactly right. We got a great YouTube video on that one. That was a lot of fun.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
There you have it. I want to shout out last housekeeping thing. Pro Shop. We got some good stuff. H&B collection is live. We also launched golf bags with Titleist. We got those live in the shop. A lot of people asking about No Laying Up branded golf bags. You can find those at store.nolayingup.com. We also have travel luggage with club glove available. You can just search the club glove collection in the pro shop. But a lot of good stuff: t-shirts, Holderness and Bourne. Roger Steele was complimenting my Lux, my level wear. You know that t-shirt I was wearing. You know, so I'm gonna send him some stuff. So that's.
Oh, Roger said
it's loaded right now.
Roger said the internet invitational was lit. It was crazy. People were acting crazy. He was under an NDA, so he couldn't tell us anything that happened. But he said it was like all sorts of controversies, and he said like people were acting.
So there were like 70 cameras. He's like, I think whoever edits this is like not gonna make it out alive. That's what he said. Which I was like, okay.
Roger and I had a side bet on the first Creator Classic, and he owes me a social media post of some kind. Like I get to dictate what it is, so I'm gonna have to challenge you guys to, or anyone listening, to give me some ideas. I'm gonna make them post it this week too, before this next one,
for sure.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to try to.
Are you optimistic? Are you positive heading into Wednesday?
No, but like, I mean, we might find something. Who knows? I wasn't optimistic going into the last one. And
that makes me more confident in you, because the worst is when Sally's like, I found it, dude. Like, I'm just like, this is where I want you, is with low expectations. I whenever you're saying like, dude, I'm never gonna miss another drive. Ball just coming out the window. That's a good solid quote. Oh God, ball's just coming out the window. It's like, oh God, fade. So now that he's feeling a little unsure, I feel like we're in a good spot.
It's been very hard to practice for and train for in the heat here. I almost had a pass out last week trying to hit some range balls in the sun, but it's good training because it's going to be Swamp Invitational. So I'm going to not wear gray shorts like our guy Neil.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. Looking at the forecast, it looks like it's just going to be like mid 80s and not like a scorcher.
Okay.
So
well, if we find
back out there today, sprinting around the golf course, he was having some swampy stuff going on too. I was like, I feel you, brother.
Yeah.
Here's the optimism, Neil. 12 people, 4 people make the finals.
Yeah.
You know, anything can happen once you make the finals. I think, I don't know how hard they're set it up, but 1 or 2 over would be in the hunt, I think, for one of those 4 spots. And then go out there and birdie 18, and maybe you're in a chip off, and there you go. A fifth of the scholarship fund.
You got the distance.
So
it's for the kids, Solly. That's got to be motivating.
It's extremely motivating.
Are you worried about a run-in with Gabby Golf Girl's dad?
No, I think we're cool. I mean, we're straight.
Gabby Golf Girl's dad.
He and GGD are straight. Come on, you know that.
Well, she's got a crazy
GGD
thing where she's like,
correct.
She's taking it back. She's taking it straight up.
Yeah, what TA4 was doing at the NIT that one year, just getting it slotted like
ahead of time,
cocking the wrist ahead of time, and then pulling the club back like above the ball, and then
crazy.
I'm trying something different on every hole right now, so I might resort to that at some point as well. So
love that. Well, hey, thank you to everybody in Baltimore. It's been a really, really nice week. The food scene here is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hotel's great. Caves Valley. Didn't see any caves. Caves Valley. Great hospitality from the club all week, and just a nice part of the country.
Yeah, and shout out to my guy. I took this picture of this guy wearing high crew socks, some blow by Nikes, and a Ray Lewis jersey tucked in.
The tucked in jerseys
is my speed.
A lot of jerseys.
I only regret that I didn't run up and introduce myself, because that guy's certainly a hitter.
Any other picks or slides to dump here, Cody, at the end of the day? Anything we missed? This was supposed to be my prisoner of the moment for my ServPro mulligan. Was me here in jail. I was a prisoner of the moment.
Or based off of Scotty's success lately, this could be how Solly spent his weekend, just trying to focus in and bring some positive mojo to him. Also, he said that he was going to have a sleep away. Too many kids. He didn't have time to practice, so he locked himself in jail.
Oh, he's going to do a Team Rose training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Randy's got to be thrilled, right?
Oh gosh, I'm so happy.
I know. We should have a call on his favorite golfer one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will have happy hours going to be delayed on Wednesday until after the Creator Classic, similar to how we did it for the players. Cody's shaking his head. I don't know why. Are we not liking that strategy?
No, I love the strategy.
Okay.
I'm so pumped. I'm just
when
you said that, I forgot that I haven't told my wife that yet. So I'll deal with that one.
That was a personal shit.
You should have broke that news, and then we'll be
Sally,
live,
I
of
think
course,
the
Sunday night.
franchise. I think the franchise.
Yeah. I
declared
got
out.
the franchise some tickets. So
You did?
he'll
Oh,
be
I got
out
him
there.
tickets as well, so he's overly.
God, you can
subscribed.
bring friends.
Yeah. So
Oh, I got too many tickets.
Hey,
Go bring
Sally,
one. Hey,
hey,
Sally,
Sally.
come be my buddies. Come on.
let's not tell him that. He would totally black market those tickets, and we can't have that.
Good
Come on
luck, Sally.
Hey, Sal, you really hit it great, man. Look out for some early calls from the franchise. Wow, what a drive there.
now. Franchise, that's in the bunker. What?
Oh, I can't see that far, man.
Sally, this course looks pretty hard,
It's
man.
pretty hot out here. You stay and go to those
Okay,
waters
okay.
from the cooler.
All right, that's going to do it for today's show. We're going to be live, of course, next Sunday night as well. Final regular season live show. We'll be live for the Ryder Cup, of course, but live show at the end, kind of coming to an end here at the end of this week. It's been a great year. We want to especially shout out our friends at High Noon for supporting these live shows, for everyone that tunes in live or wherever you listen and take it in. It's been a fantastic, fantastic year, and we have a lot of fun doing these. So we'll see you back here next week. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Crack on.
Cheers.